Overcooked 2 is finally here. Now, I'm not sure how many people actually played the first Overcooked, but it has got to be one of the craziest couch co-op games I have ever experienced. At first, it's all about being a dysfunctional team of chefs who constantly make mistakes and barely make the cut for the next level. But after a while, it turns into a massive test of skill to see if you can 3-star all the levels. So let's see if Overcooked 2 is able to stand up to the hype. Starting up the game, you immediately recognize the same ambience from the original Overcooked in the choice of music. One of the first major differences you'll spot is the upgraded graphics. Characters show more detail, and everything from the menus to game map have been updated as well. I've played through most of the story with 2 players, as always having 4 to enjoy a hectic kitchen yelling experience of burning burritos on a hot air balloon just isn't that common. That being said, the game plays very well with just 2 players. You still have to rely on someone else to be dexterous enough to hand you tomatoes, and inevitably, it turns into moments of hilarious mistakes. The story is a bit different this time around, as the Onion King has accidentally used an ancient recipe to bring about the unbread. Yep. Something I immediately noticed when going through the first stages of the story was that attaining a high score was rather easy. No doubt they probably did this to have more players enjoy the game without constant frustration of barely not passing a level, but I rather enjoy the difficulty of having to find the most efficient method of slapping salad on a conveyor belt. Continuing on, the levels get just as wacky and enjoyably confusing as the first game. The levels visually look very good, and the difficulty even begins to ramp up a bit. When approaching one level, you get introduced to a new mechanic of preparing your foods with partners. The ability to throw ingredients. This is one of those moments where I was pleasantly surprised with something I wasn't asking for, but was happy the choice was given to me. It's incredibly fun to sling salad at each other and occasionally make a few trick shots into a skillet, or even a Hail Mary into the trash can. It also gives new depth to the level design, as there are situations where you have to toss ingredients across large deadly gaps. In solo mode, the game plays identically to how the first Overcooked did, with quick ways of switching between characters and long action sequences to promote efficient time management. How about audio? The sounds pair very well with the cartoonish design choice, with the occasional slap from a thrown steak. If you're someone who enjoyed the sound palette from the first Overcooked, you'll find no issues here whatsoever. Probably the largest addition to the series is the ability to play online with friends and strangers. Before, Overcooked was all about couch co-op, and it led to yelling at friends as much as your TV. But now you can yell at your TV alone towards tiny avatars of cute fuzzy animals instead. I'm assuming you can invite your friends alongside local players to enjoy the story mode, but you can't queue with randoms for what I can guess are obvious reasons. Besides story, you get access to arcade, which is essentially playing together in random levels from the story, or versus mode, where you pair up with a partner and see who can score more points against an enemy team. Although, this is where the game gets a bit disappointing. I'm not sure if it's due to being the first day of release, but when playing it with a group of randoms, I experienced heavy latency. It was mostly around a half second of lag, and it definitely put a dampener on the enjoyment. I was still able to get through games, but it becomes less fun when you are too focused on trying to play a half second into the future. Hopefully this is something that is fixed soon, or perhaps it was an isolated incident. That being said, queue times were quick, and it was very pleasant to know that I could enjoy some competitive play after 3-starring all the levels in the story mode. All in all, Overcooked 2 is a fantastic game that can provide hours of frantic enjoyment with friends in person or online. Less and less games are promoting couch co-op with hilarious replayability. But if you're looking to bolster your library with something you can guarantee will make that next family visit a night to remember, then I wholeheartedly recommend picking up Overcooked 2 when you can. If you're someone who will most likely be stuck with a single player experience, I might wait until there's a sale, or if the latency gets fixed. I personally believe this is a must-have on the Switch, as everything runs perfectly in handheld and docked mode, and it's extremely easy to take anywhere you go in case you need some burger flipping action. So there you have it. I would like to know how your experiences with the game have been in the comments below, and be sure to subscribe and click the like button if you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one.